Chapter 8, User Interface Design. This chapter explains how to design an effective user interface and how to handle data, security, and control issues. Chapter Objectives. Explain the concept of user interface design and human-computer interaction, including basic principles of user-centered design. Explain modular design and prototyping techniques. Systems design phase overview. Goal of systems design is to build a system that is effective, reliable, and maintainable. A system is effective if it supports business requirements and meets user needs. Reliable if it handles input errors, processing errors, hardware failures, or human mistakes. Maintainability if it is flexible, scalable, and easily modified. What is a user interface? Describes how users interact with a computer system. Comprises features that affect two-way communications between the user and the computer. Central to usability. In a user-centered system, the distinction blurs between input, output, and the interface itself. What is a user interface? Human-computer interaction describes the relationship between computers and people who use them to perform their jobs. Early user interfaces were complex commands and graphical user interface, GUI. Transparent user interface does not distract the user. Objective, to create a user-friendly design that is easy to learn and use. Guideline for user interface design. Create an interface that is easy to learn and use. Focus on system design objectives. Create a design that is easy to understand and remember. Provide commands, actions, and system responses that are consistent and predictable. Allow users to correct errors easily. Clearly label all controls, buttons, and icons. Guidelines for user interface design. Create an interface that is easy to learn and use. Select familiar images that users can understand. Provide on-screen instructions that are logical, concise, and clear. Show all commands in a list of menu items. Dim any commands that are not available to the user. Make it easy to navigate or return to any level in the menu structure. Guidelines for user interface design. Enhance user productivity. Organize tasks, commands, and functions in groups that resemble actual business operations. Create alphabetical menu lists or place the selections used frequently at the top of the menu list. Provide shortcuts for experienced users. Use default values if the majority of values in a field are the same. Use a duplicate value function, but allow users to turn this feature on or off as they prefer. Enhance user productivity. Continue. Provide a fast find feature. If available, consider a natural language feature that allows users to type commands or requests in normal text phrases. Provide users with help and feedback. Ensure that help is always available on demand. Provide user-selected help and context-sensitive help. Provide a direct route for users to return to the point for where help was requested. Include contact information. See Figure 8-8, which illustrates a help screen for a student registration system. Guidelines for user interface design. Create an attractive layout and design. Use appropriate colors to highlight different areas of the screen. Use special effects sparingly. Use hyperlinks that allow users to navigate to related topics. Group related objects and information. Guidelines for user interface design. Enhance the interface. Opening screen is important as it introduces the application. The starter point can be a switchboard with well-placed command buttons for navigation. Use the command button to initiate an action. Try to create customized menu bars and toolbars. Add a shortcut feature that lets a user select a menu command. If variable input data is needed, provide a dialog box that explains what is required. Guidelines for user interface design. Focus on data entry screens. Use the form filling method whenever possible. Restrict user access to screen locations where data is entered. Provide a way to leave the data screen at any time without entering the correct record. Provide a descriptive caption for every field. Provide a means for users to move among fields on the form in a standard order or in any order they choose. Allow users to add, change, delete, and view records. Guidelines for user validation rules. Use validation rules such as sequence check, used when data must be in some predetermined sequence. Existence check applies to mandatory data items. Data type check tests to ensure that a data item fits the required data type. Range check used to verify the data items fall between a specified minimum and maximum value. Reasonableness check identifies values that are questionable but not necessarily wrong. Validity check used for data items that must have certain values. Combination check performed on two or more fields to ensure that they are consistent or reasonable when considered together. Batch controls, totals used to verify batch input. Where do we go from here? Modular design. Individual components called modules connect to a higher level program or process designed to perform a single function. In a structured design, each module represents a specific process shown on a data flow diagram as mentioned in an earlier chapter and documented in a process description. Prototyping involves a repetitive sequence of analysis, design, modeling, and testing. Chapter summary. Purpose of systems design is to create a physical model of the system that satisfies the design requirements that were defined during the systems analysis phase. User interface design must be based on the perspective of the user. Make sure you read Chapter 8 and review the key terms.